I'm going to share the top 3 ways you can screw up a real estate team real fast. When it comes to figuring out how to do a real estate team wrong, look, the fact of the matter is you're going to have to struggle. You're going to make some failures. You're going to fail along the way. I certainly have. I teach not exactly how to do it right, but I teach all the things that I have screwed up along the way. Here are 3 things that are really going to get in your way if you don't get them figured out early on. Number 1, we talk about this all the time, but doing it for the wrong reason. Starting a real estate team for the wrong reason, beyond all of the, I guess, obvious things, here's what I have found. When the tough times come, and they will come, starting a team for a wrong reason, beyond the, I think, to me, it's fairly obvious that if all you care about is yourself, you're not going to keep people, close to you for very long. If you're doing the team for selfish reasons, that's a big problem. But what I have seen is, even if you enjoy helping people and things are going along great, there will always be a bad time. And if you are doing this for convenience, if you are starting a team because you want to work less and to be out of the business and for it to be convenient, for life to be convenient for you, your team will fold, maybe not in the good times, but the minute the market turns, the minute there's some bad news in the economy, your team will fold because you will not have the resolve to slog it through those really tough times. And that can be really, really difficult. Now, where a lot of teams see massive success, if you have started a team and you're just going along pretty great, that can be a problem because that makes you think that it's that way. And so when the tough times come eventually, and it may be way down the road, but when they do come, maybe you get this sense that it's just over and you've got to give up. So starting off with success can almost be a huge negative because of that kind of complacency that you're going to develop. If you start with, it's already tough and you're going to have to grind your way up, sometimes that can be difficult because you don't know that there is something on the other side of it. I think I've found a good level of, a good mix of both when I started. I had a few years of success. I did not prepare for the bad times, but I was not super complacent either. And so when the bad times did come, a few years into starting the team, they weren't that bad. But what it also did was it showed me that there is another side, that we can get through those tough times and what it can look like on the other side of those tough times. Too many people who are doing this for the wrong reason give up as soon as they hit a little bit of mud, as soon as the going gets just a little bit tough. That's the give up point. You've got to have the resolve to get through those tough year or two, to get to the other side. Another thing that I'm seeing is the bad resources. If you are looking for the cheapest leads, this is the number one thing I see. Mostly people coming out of other brokerages. A lot of times team leaders tend to have leads figured out. They're not all great at working leads, but regardless where people are coming from, most people that have had the opportunity, agents that have had the opportunity to work leads, have never been given decent leads and have never been taught by somebody that knew what they were doing. That's certainly the predominant situation that I see in this industry. Agents are averse to working leads because they feel that they're not going to return a value. It's going to take too much time. There is no payoff. Well, you were taught by somebody who only bought leads because they thought that was a way to keep you. If your mentor, your previous broker, whoever it may have been, previous team leader, was not an absolute beast in converting leads themselves, if you have not heard this yourself with your own ears, them on a call, taking some from an absolute no to a, yeah, we can meet tomorrow at 3 o'clock. If you have not seen that, it's probably because they did not possess that skill. So for them to go buy the cheapest kazoo leads they can find in the industry and drop them in your lap and say, here, good luck, no wonder you failed. You need good leads and you need somebody who can show you how to work them. Lead conversion is a science. Third reason your real estate team is probably going to fail is if you are a team leader who is more interested in being a top agent you may not be suited for a team. Now, maybe you have the type of team where you just have a lot of support, and that's fine. That's a great type of team. There's nothing wrong with that. But a lot of the teams these days are empowering agents to do their own business. And if you're only worried about yourself and your sales and elevating that, you probably want to think about paying a salary, because agents who eventually have their aspirations of doing better, a lot of times they want their own accolades. And so I see too often that the team leader is the tip of the spear and everyone else is just getting the crumbs. And listen, that works. I know some very successful people that are working it that way. It's just not particularly my model. So for me, my advice is to don't be greedy. To me, I don't even compete with my agents. I don't work the same leads that they do. I'm not selling houses, I'm not working leads, haven't for a long time anyways. But when as I was developing my team and growing my team, what I did was I set aside a spend specifically for myself, and those were my leads and my leads alone. And then I had a separate spend for all of my agents, because I never wanted my agents to feel like I was competing with them for the same business. So even when I needed to sell some homes, before I got to a place where I was mostly out or just working referral business, I love selling homes. I'll always be selling homes, and I don't have the time to work, again, I don't have the time to work the leads anymore, but I separated those so there was never that feeling that I was undercutting them. The bottom line, a lot of this comes down to selfishness. If you're doing this for your bottom line or to help yourself, those are going to be some traps that you're going to end up falling into. If you are doing this for other people, to build up, lift up other people, you will be lifted up along with the rest. Rising tide raises all ships, right? Listen, pop in and subscribe. Love to keep talking with you guys and bringing you some content just like this.